Jam. Toon Jam.
Hello and welcome to Toon Jam. I am Matt.
And I'm Jenna.
And today we are covering a reboot. We always like to visit a reboot, especially when we've visited the past of that show, which most of you at home will have done, as we have. But let me tell you what it is before I go on, if the title of the episode didn't already give it away. Jellystone. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. So let me tell you a bit about Jellystone. Jellystone is an American animated streaming television series developed by C.H. Greenblatt for HBO Max. The series is produced by Warner Brothers Animation and features reimagined versions of various characters by Hanna-Barbera. It premiered on the 29th of July 2021 and is the first series to feature many of Hanna-Barbera's signature characters such as Yogi Bear and Huckleberry Hound since 1991's Yo Yogi, the first production since the closure of Hanna-Barbera Studio, and also the first TV series featuring them without the studio's founders William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, who died in 2001 and 2006 respectively. 21 episodes have been announced for the first season, and an 11-minute Halloween special spellbook was released on October 21st, 2021. Oh, could be a spooky one for this year, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, already getting excited for that spooky stuff,
Yeah,
guys. Get ready.
It's already come and gone, but we're already like, yes.
It's
get ready.
January now. Come on. Jellystone, as I said before, was developed by C.H. Greenblatt, who also created Chowder and Harvey Beaks for Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. Production on the series, according to Greenblatt, began in January 2020 with the Unikitty director Kareen Ingle and former Harvey Beaks writer and storyboard artist Hannah Ayubi. According to Greenblatt's Tumblr, this show has been in early development for at least a year and a half. When this was written, obviously, because it's out now, Greenblatt serves as executive producer alongside Hi Puffy, Amiyumi creator, thank you, and Warner Brothers Animation president Sam Register. So there you go, a little bit of info about Jellystone there. So yes, it is the Jellystone from Yogi Bear, as you'd imagine, but very different. It's no longer just a place for picnic baskets and bear antics. It's the whole gang. So you've got Yogi, Boo Boo, Top Cat's in there, Huckleberry Hound, what is it, the Great Grape Ape?
Yeah, Grape Ape.
Yeah.
You've got, what's the shark called?
Jabberjaw.
Jabberjaw, yeah.
Who's now a female. Some of them have been gender swapped.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see why, because otherwise there'd probably be only one female character in the whole of Jellystone.
That's right, yeah.
So maybe two.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got Peter Potmus is there.
Yeah, Oggy Doggy.
Oggy Doggy.
There's one. Or is it Magilla the gorilla?
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's the Great Grape Ape.
Oh.
I wonder if that's his name.
Is that his actual name as opposed to Grape Ape?
I'm not entirely sure.
Don't know.
The point being,
They're
all
all
of those sort of, small time Hanna-Barbera. Oh yeah, no, Magilla the gorilla is a different ape.
Oh.
They look slightly different.
Oh.
Quick Draw McGraw.
Yeah,
Captain Caveman.
The Hair Bear Bunch were there at some point.
Yeah, Hair Bear Bunch. Snagglepuss. That's one. And that, large purple hippo.
Peter Potmus.
Oh yeah, did you already say that?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. We're mixing them up every night.
Did you get that thing I told you?
Oh yes. But yeah, so loads of Hanna-Barbera classics. But had you watched this before?
I hadn't actually. This had evaded me.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'd heard of its existence. Surely, like it seemed like there was quite a lot of chatter about it when it first came out.
Yeah.
I heard it was around, but
Well,
I
in
hadn't
classic Toon Jam fashion, we were like, yeah, let's do that when it comes out. And then
here we are.
In a rather professional move, forgot.
Yeah.
Did something else, obviously had some other grand idea, and then it's been on the back burner ever since. So late as always.
That is just our process, really. So look behind the curtain of just how things go on around here.
Never quite making it to a well-run podcast.
No. The day we do things on release is the day you know someone's taken over.
Yeah, some real
corpo.
Yeah,
corpos bought us out.
Done a good job. Okay, well, Jellystone. Let's talk ratings. How's it done? So we've got an IMDb rating, as always.
Yeah.
And we do have a Rotten Tomatoes rating, but it's just an audience score. There's no critics rating.
Right.
So not as necessarily easy to tell what it might be. So your ratings for each. Let's take a guess. So IMDb.
IMDb, I'm going to go 7.8 for IMDb. Quite high.
Okay. And what about Rotten Tomatoes?
And Rotten Tomatoes, I'm going to go 68%.
Okay. I can tell you IMDb. What did you say? 7.8?
Yeah.
6.2.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, considerably lower than I was.
Yeah. That's 410 ratings. So not many, really.
No, that's not actually a lot.
So, for an IMDb result, anyway. However, let's move over to Rotten Tomatoes. What was your answer for that?
68.
68. Oof, it is 80%.
Wow.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, I should have switched those two around.
Yeah, you'd have been not far off then.
I'd have still been wrong. But
you'd have been closer on each. So there you go. Reasonably mid-range score on IMDb, but a positive on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, still, above average though. They're not.
No, yeah, there's nothing, thumbs down about it.
No, sounds good.
Seemingly good. What about Twitter? What's Twitter got to say about Jellystone?
Yeah, well, curiously, we've got a JCast Leet. I guess that was 1, 2, 3, 7 for all those cool kids out there. They say, sure, the critics may not be talking about Jellystone, but the ratings speak for themselves.
Oh, there you go. Well placed. Comment.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's true. It worked out.
It's true. It's pretty high on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
I assume it's whatever.
No critics to be seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pull your
They're positive. Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they speak for themselves. I guess it's kind of, not the highest, but reasonably high.
Yeah, like it's a fairly decent show.
It's about average 7.
Yeah. There you go. Speaks for itself. Okay. So I mean, I guess currently that's a good review.
It could be anything, couldn't it?
Good way to stay above, stay on top of the current game is just be like, well, just see what everybody else says.
Hedge your bets completely.
Yeah. Well played. We've also got Hello Snafu, who says,
hello.
Hello, Snafu. Just found out that Jellystone isn't a real national park, FML. Which, for those out there who don't know what that means, it's a naughty way of saying forfeit my life.
Yeah. Swap the first one out.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
feel
to be fair, I remember first, as a kid, you don't get that reference necessarily.
No.
and then when you find out about Yellowstone,
Yeah.
especially in the UK, because it's obviously not something that really
No.
comes up, and then you're like, hold on, what do you mean Jellystone?
Yeah. You think everyone's saying Yellowstone wrong?
Yeah.
For half of your life.
And also trying to figure out as a kid why it's called Jellystone. That I remember that being a really like, what? Is like I remember imagining like block paving floor, but made of like like hard jelly.
Right.
Before you put it in the boiling water or whatever.
Yeah. So it's like jelly cobbles.
Yeah, jelly. Yeah.
Nice. That'd be fun. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, if only that was the situation, but unfortunately not. So
no.
Sorry, hello.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, we've all experienced that moment in our lives. But I assume that's kind of positive because they were hoping that it was a real place. So we're going to go positive on that one. We've got Pao Sakino, who says, "Do you love Jellystone? ? #Jellystone." And then their picture was an interesting sort of way to vote, which was if you liked it, that was yes. If you retweeted it, that was yes. And if you commented, that was also yes. So good way to get really
specific.
varied reviewed
reviews. If you want a result.
yeah. So I think that's a way of them saying yes.
Like it. Yeah.
Yes. And in response to that, we've got Carter the Great, because there's a space between the and great.
Right.
That's why I said it. They said it's the best show of HBO Max.
Oh, big claim.
So they commented, which obviously means they said yes anyway.
So they could have just put space.
Yeah. And you'd have been like, yeah, cool. They love it. Yeah, good poll for there. So if you hate Jellystone, make sure you go on that tweet and vote, because
and do just nothing. Just don't respond to it.
You can't interact with it in any way.
Yeah, just looking at it could be counted as a.
That's too much. Yeah. You're well played. And then finally we've got Kwaijibo133. Sorry, I probably said your name horribly wrong. They said, I can't believe they turned a bunch of silly cartoons from the 70s and revived them into silly cartoons for today, he said with sarcasm, in brackets, I love this show.
I like the whisper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just entirely reading into this, so apologies if I'm wrong there, but it sounds like they've read some sort of criticism.
Yeah, that was all in speech marks at first.
Yeah, so like they were complaining that someone else said, oh, you've ruined silly cartoon by making it into a silly cartoon.
Yeah.
I mean, we've constantly preached that point on here, so yeah, we're with you on that one. Things have to be updated, and just because something's old and beloved doesn't mean it wasn't silly.
Yeah, it's quite true.
Yeah. So, yeah, an interesting point. I'd say there's some that one, they said they loved it, but other than that, ambiguous tweets.
Yeah, in fact, there's so much chatter on Twitter about Jellystone that it was hard to get to pull a quote, really. It was a lot of people, doing Jellystone essays, and a lot of people doing polls that were really hard to vote in, and that kind of thing. So it does seem that Twitter is fond of Jellystone. There was lots of pictures as well, which obviously doesn't really. We can start doing a thing where we just start talking about pictures that people tweet. That might be a new segment coming up this year, 2022.
Yeah. And then we can sell our descriptions as NFTs.
Yeah. The corpo was talking.
A little gag there, a little gag for you all. staying current on Toon
don't,
Jam.
don't do NFTs, guys.
But yeah, so I'm going to say that was generally positive.
Yeah, I think that's positive. I think people liked it. They wanted to share that they liked it. They wanted other people to share that they also liked it.
A lot of out of the box tweeting.
Which, mixes it up quite a bit.
Yeah, it's quite nice. It's quite fun. But yeah, okay then. So, well, let's dig in. So let's touch on those. Obviously, as we said, it's a reboot.
Yeah.
First thing you notice is sort of. So let's just talk about the new take in general.
Yeah.
Art style, character, layout.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it? Did you like it?
I think I did actually. It was excuse me. I got some Jellystone in my throat, apparently. Yeah, I think the look is immediately like, oh, this is new. This looks fun. I quite liked the way that they went with the art style. It was, I mean, it's very sort of, I guess it's sort of, it's almost streamlined everything. Like you've got the shape of the characters kind of like down. It's sort of shorthand almost for the look of each one of them.
It's like almost more basic.
Yeah, it definitely is more basic.
Not that they were particularly detailed before or anything, but
yeah, that's true.
Somehow it does seem more basic.
Yeah, and they're all kind of like their stature seems to be a bit more squat for every character. Like they're kind of condensed versions of their previous selves, but you could still immediately tell who was who. For saying that they've got a whole host of different characters. You were like, oh, that's Yogi, oh, that's Boo Boo, oh, that's Jabberjaw. It didn't. They weren't these crazy character redesigns or anything. Like, so yeah, I quite enjoyed the way that they looked. What about you?
Yes, I did like. I like that they were all. It sounds silly saying it. I like that they were all one style. Obviously, they've always all been one style because they were previously. But I don't know. It somehow looked even more. I guess because they're all in the same show. It had even more of a sort of uniform about it. It felt like a show befitting of the times.
Yeah.
In its look, anyway. It kind of was like this. It felt like they'd watched Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And were like, let's do that with our characters. Which is not a bad thing at all. If you've heard our previous episode.
Yeah, exactly.
On the new Mickey Mouse, that we really liked it. So yeah, it's nice that they have updated it in that way. I did think at times, I don't know, there's something about it that it's weird. I can't describe it completely, but there's reminiscence of, it seems to be 2022 complaint of the year already, adult animation styling in there.
It's back.
It's back. This is gonna be the David the Gnome of 2022. Me complaining about it, but do you know what I mean when I say that? Like,
yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe it's just the actual animation techniques.
Yeah, maybe they always use the same programs.
Yeah, maybe that's something to do with it. But it kind of, and I think because one of the approaches they've taken feels a bit like a kid's version of Family Guy.
Right.
In the humour and sort of like this looks like if Family Guy did like Yogi Bear, like a joke about Yogi Bear, he might look like this on the show.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is more just a personal gripe, because I don't think it actually really does completely have that like aspect to it.
Yeah, I think it's sort of in that vein, but maybe not entirely. I think they're a bit more. I think they've got a bit more sort of shape to them and stuff, like
a bit more. I think the main issue with it, with all the new stuff, is actually the voice acting.
Yeah.
Not for all the characters, but some of the characters, it just jarred you. I think because you already know the character.
Yeah.
for example, the main one really was Top Cat
Yeah.
because he was weirdly southern.
Yeah. I was like, I was having some sort of Mandela effect there because I was like, is this what Top Cat sounded like? Like, I
Yeah.
don't remember this. Or like, yeah, I guess he always sounded like this.
Yeah,
In the 2 seconds he had lines. I was like, went
Was
through
it
a
a
whole.
Western? Was Top Cat a Western?
I don't.
That's
Yeah.
what I kept thinking, like, what?
I don't. Yeah. I clearly don't remember. Like, it's been that long since I watched Top Cat that I was like, maybe he does sound like that. I don't know.
From what I can remember, it didn't sound like that.
No, I don't think he did, but you know.
And that was a bit jarring. The others were just more like either good or bad impressions. So it was trying to, decipher the odd ones. But that kind of takes you out of it a little bit and reminds you what they're doing. But I think that's just sort of first episode.
Yeah.
You have to get used to that.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be the case with something like this.
Oh, yeah. But I think the fact that obviously the art style has changed, it kind of carries you with that, doesn't it? Because you're just like, oh, yeah, it's all new. Do you know what I mean? Like 3 episodes in, you'll kind of forget because it's like, this is what this Yogi sounds like, or this is what this boots, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, immediate, like, you can't help it when it's like a sort of, it's got a legacy behind it sort of thing. It's like you're expecting them to sound a particular way. You can't really shift that out of your brain. So
yeah.
Makes sense.
And the one thing that really confused me is why they made Jellystone like some sort of German, heavily European town.
Yeah, that was odd.
Because, like, the thing about Hanna-Barbera is it's very American.
Yeah.
Jellystone is like Yellowstone National Park. You've got like Western characters, and they did have like, Quick Draw McGraw and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Jabba Joe wanted in like a band. Country and stuff like that. Top Cat in a city. None of them had any connection to this.
Yeah, it's an odd one. It is like I wonder what that's. Maybe. Yeah.
I personally felt that was a bad choice and a weird choice. But again, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Because it's just a background, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe that's what like the gift shop at Yellowstone National Park looks like.
Maybe there's something we're missing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird. I thought it was a weird choice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. You sort of like, I suppose because you're so used to just being in the park so much. It's like when they started wandering around the town, you were like, oh, well, why is it here?
Yeah.
Like, where are they?
Yeah. Well, especially, the first episode, it's a classic case of it felt like they'd run out of ideas instantly. And not necessarily, that's not always like a complaint necessarily. This is something we come across quite often, isn't it? Like, especially with Cartoon Network shows. And sometimes it can be quite funny because you just get the weirdest episodes all the time. Straight
away, which can be really good.
Yeah. So in this episode we watched, Yogi Bear is a doctor. So straight away it's just like, what? You've so quickly gone to that. I don't know if he's a doctor in every episode.
Yeah.
If this is like Yogi's new line of work. But what a weird situation.
Yeah, Dr. Yogi.
Yeah, and it's all about him, and he gets some sort of strange stomach implant where he keeps eating everything, and essentially destroys Jellystone in the first episode.
In episode 1.
It's crazy. That they did all that in the first episode. But you know what I mean? Like, it just felt like they were all in straight away.
Yeah, that's a proper like season 6 episode, isn't it? Just like, well, we should just have something, destroy everywhere for no reason. Like, I did like how it did seem pretty zany. Like that whole thing came from something completely minor, because he was a doctor there was he did like a really terrible surgery. Well, it wasn't even surgery. It like, you know, they moved a little girl singing out of the way, and got revived an old lady. And then the whole thing started because he was in the cafeteria and couldn't decide what he wanted to. It's like, on paper, this is just like terrible, but for like a cartoon, it's hilarious because it's like as if those were the series of events that caused it to spiral this much. It's just really, it felt like, you know, some of the old 90s stuff we used to watch, we've watched, that's just like, how did they get from A to B here? Like, that's so unbelievable, which makes it really fun.
You know what? Now you've said that, and it does have that feel like of the early Cartoon Network shows.
Yeah.
But in particular, like Two Stupid Dogs.
Yeah.
Because it even has that sort of, that look is a little bit.
It does look a bit like that, doesn't it? Yeah, thinking about it. Yeah.
It's like that's the look is somewhere between Two Stupid Dogs and Family Guy.
Mm.
And what's interesting is that Seth MacFarlane actually did work on those early things, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I guess it's, you know, as much as we might not be a fan, it is staying in the vein of what Cartoon Network has always been, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it lets you know straight away what you're getting in for.
Mm.
And you can only imagine, is it going to get zanier, or is it just going to calm down?
I hope so.
Imagine it's just going to continue this ridiculous line.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked the tone of the show. Like it clearly didn't take itself seriously. Like, I mean, like it knew that it was sitting on a bunch of just silliness, and now it has to continue being silly. And I think, you know, it did that pretty quickly. Like, I was laughing almost immediately at the show.
Yeah.
There's a couple gags especially that made me laugh out loud, as the kids say.
That's my issue here, is that I felt like it was a bit hit and miss on the gags. Some were really funny, and then some were a bit like, all right. I don't know if you found that as well.
Not really. I was fairly like, I think the ones that missed, I don't know, I feel like I was giving it some leeway for whatever reason, like, just like, because it's kind of Yogi, so it's like, I don't think, even as a kid, I didn't think all of Yogi was hilarious. Probably because some of the jokes went over my head. So it's just like, it's probably going to be like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought it was pretty okay all the way through. Like, I was kept me in a good mood from start to finish. Yeah. So yeah, I was fairly pleased with it. Some jokes especially were pretty good. But it did feel as well that it had the kind of the silly humour of like the CH Greenblatt shows. Like, it did sort of remind me a bit of Chowder to a degree, like some of the stuff. Yeah.
And they did have the all important rap in the middle.
Oh yeah, which was, I mean, that says it all.
Yeah, we've got some sort of new ongoing rap in the middle thing that seems to be coming like onto the show a lot.
Yeah, and it was terrible on purpose as well, which is even better.
Yeah,
like it was like line 2, they ran out of rhymes.
Yeah. And they admitted it as well.
Yeah.
It was, you know,
that was good.
it felt like that should have been later on almost.
Yeah,
but it did work.
Yeah, so they've got all the ingredients there. They know how to make a show.
Yeah.
You know, rap music, Family Guy elements.
Yeah, I mean, this is the modern day combat. This is what's interesting in it, I suppose. Like, we're from an era where this sort of adult cartoon came out of. It was like the separation from the kids' cartoon, really.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's almost like the reverse.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to pull it into the kids' shows.
Yeah, which is it's actually really strange when you think of it.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Mm.
But yeah, we'll have to see what the future brings for more episodes. 2022, the year of changing cartoons.
Oh.
We've been waiting for it, guys. It's the 20s now.
Yeah.
It's the roaring 20s. Okay, well, I think we've we've discussed enough there. Shall we move on to our ratings?
Do you like jelly? Do you like stones? Well, whether you liked, retweeted, or commented, you're gonna love Jellystones.
Jellystones are made entirely out of, you guessed it, jelly. They're perfect for any kind of building situation. Maybe you're creating a cobblestone floor, maybe brick paving, or maybe it's just a house. Whatever your needs, Jellystone has them covered because it's stones and they're made of jelly.
Normal stones are a thing of the past. That was so 2019. Now, Jellystone is the way forward for all your needs. And also, they taste great. Most of ours are made from raspberry flavor.
But it doesn't end there. You can also get them in lemon, lime, orange, and of course, strawberry flavor too. And they come in multiple colors.
Wouldn't you want all of your stones to be strawberry flavored? I know I would, and I know I have. So come down to our bizarre European American town to find out just what Jellystone can do for you.
Order now, and you'll get your stones within the month. Jellystones, the American brick. Okay, so here at Toon Jam, we have a 3-point rating system that goes as follow. Thumbs up, like, retweet, reply. Then we'll know. Thumbs down, the lies of the past about national parks. We've all been there. It's not real. And shaky middle, you know, what the hell was that Jellystone advert all about?
Yeah.
Don't know. So, thumbs up, thumbs down, and not really sure. It's pretty self-explanatory. So, Jellystone, your thoughts?
Yeah. I was pretty much I was sold by the change in this one. Sometimes we have some reboots and like I don't think I'm going to enjoy this from the get-go, but with this, I think they picked a cool art style that did look kind of modern, and it also, like I said, kept with the characters pretty well. I like the way they looked. The animation was nice and slick. The voices were a bit different, but I still, other than Top Cat, and none of them really jarred me. They were all pretty suitable. And I think mainly I liked just how fast paced it was. Like they did this sort of bite of it, this sort of like episode 1, part 1. It's 11 minutes, and we've said this about the shorter shows before, is that they go to a lot of places in a short space of time, which feels really fun. It's pretty action packed. I like how it was nonsensical for them to go from Yogi being a doctor to then Yogi having surgery on him to then Yogi, eating the whole town. It was just silly cartoon madness, which I think, in the vein of, old Hanna-Barbera stuff, I think that sort of like it kept on point really. So yeah, there wasn't really anything I didn't like about it. There were some choices like the European town thing was a bit like, yeah, that's a bit strange. I don't know why they've done that. But on the whole, it was pretty digestible. And I enjoyed the flavour. To stay within that analogy. So yeah, for me, it's going to be a thumbs up for Jellystone.
There you go. It was one of the better reboots that we've seen. And it is a reboot. It's a fresh take, which is always good, I think, really, because I suppose there's certain things that can revisit in the same way, but it's nice to have a fresh take on things like this, where we watched Looney Tunes a while back, and kind of the problem with it was that it was trying too hard to be the same as it was.
Yeah.
And as much as you do want that, you do also want something new.
Yeah.
But this was completely something new. it had the characters in it, but they're all in ridiculous situations. It's something fresh and enjoyable. I did find that it was a bit hit and miss on the gags for myself. Didn't make me laugh throughout, but I did find it funny, and I think it's one of those things. I think as I'd watched a few, it would definitely settle more, and I think I would enjoy it more. But as of episode 1, I'm going to put myself at a middle. It's a high middle, but it wasn't, it didn't blow me away.
Right. No, that's fair.
But I'm happy that they've done it in this way, and like I say, high middle. It would probably change to an up within time, I think. So a middle and an up for Jellystone.
Yeah, that's good.
Not too bad, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We've had no downs yet this year, so
look at that. Whew.
It's going well.
What's going to be the one? What will take us?
Let us see. Hopefully there is not one this year. Still, living that dream that was never going to come. Well, there's time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us on the 3 shattered national park dreams of the internet: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ToonJamPod. If you'd like to catch up on old episodes, you can do so on our YouTube page. Just search for Toon Jam Pod on there as well. You'll find all our previous episodes on there, and plenty to go through. If you want some bonus content, you can do so by joining us on Patreon, where we put up new themed episodes. We've just finished our run on babies, Goo Goo Gaga. So you can join us for a brand new run. And then, of course, the only thing left to say really is thank you. And until next time, you stay jammy.
Hey everyone, thank you for listening. If you want to help the show keep going, you can be extra jammy by heading over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/toonjampod. Here you can get a shout out on the show or unlock bonus episodes. Ratings and reviews anywhere you listen to the podcast also really help us out. So thank you, and stay jammy.